So friends, we were discussing about the climate change measures taken by Government of India under Sustainable Development Goal. So establishing 8 national mission to advance action on the country's climate priority, that is under National Action Plan for Climate Change, that is NAPCC. So Government of India is constantly moving towards making the climate friendly marks on the action. So NAPCC again very important under SDG targets, which we are discussing here. So various targets are under this. First one is National Solar Mission. So COP21 के बाद फ्रेंड्स हमने देखा था कि नेशनल सोलर मिशन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने इनॉग्रेट किया. देन देयर वाज नेशनल इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस लोकेटेड इन गुड़गांव, दैट वाज अगेन इनिशिएटेड. Then there was various parts of this year, that was the 100 gigawatt of solar power in 7 years starting from 14 and 15, and as of 31st December solar power capacity of 49.35 gigawatt has been installed in the country. Look at the development, that 49.35 gigawatt of solar installation has been installed. The National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency NMEEE, again very important for prelims and mains, to achieve the growth of the ecological balance and sustainable, mandating the reduction in energy consumption, large energy consumption industries, financing for PPP to reduce energy consumption. Government of India has initiated NMEEE, under which there is a perform, achieve and trade scheme, that is PAT. So what is the full form of PAT? That is perform, achieve and trade for MSME and other industries, and curtail the environment pollution also from March 2012 onwards. Now coming to the next. So the components of National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency NMEEE, first is perform, achieve and track, that is PAT, which assign the energy reduction targets to large energy intensive industries such as thermal power plant, steel plants and core manufacturing, and it provides the energy saving certificates. What PAT does? It provides certification of industries on the basis of achieving the targets. So as the targets are provided by the government under SDG framework, companies are being indicated on the basis of achieving their indicating targets. That is ESCR, assets, and which can be traded. So the achieved company's target can be traded also. Now MTEEE, promoting adoption of energy efficient equipment and appliances through innovative business models. So the energy appliances that are made by BIS rating, BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, provide 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 and 5 star rating. So the equipments that are being rated under this are already traded and provided for the various business model analogy. Then feed approach, that is FEEED, FEED, and that promoting the energy efficiency initiative by hedging the against investment risk. So the risks which are taken under the energy module are being curtailed under this mode. Then last EEPF, EEFP, that again caters the increasing confidence of financial institutions and investors to support energy efficiency initiative. Remember this point, investors are also catered through this project of EEFP in order to invest in green energy and energy efficient devices and machines. Now in the municipal buildings and agriculture sectors, energy incentives including reduced taxes on energy efficient appliances, very important. How government is making initiative? By reducing the taxes on the energy efficient devices under Bureau of Energy Efficiency star ratings. Remember it has been previously asked by UPSC in previous year question that which agency is the rating agency for the devices and appliances that are being used under the star ratings. Now coming to the third part is National Mission for Green India, GIM, or a Green India Mission. Under this, improved ecosystem services by increasing forest tree cover by 5 meter hectare and improving quality of forest cover on another 5 meter hectare, a total of 10 meter hectare. Then second, afforestation activities in the areas were taken up over an area of 1,17,757 hectares. Remember this data. Alternative fuel energy devices have been distributed to 33,099 households. How many households? 33,099 households, alternative devices which are able to curtail the greenhouse gases emission reduction and propagating the climate friendly measures in order to create more viable energy resources and devices. Now, why these are in news? These contribute to a larger part of economic survey which provides that the India is going towards climate friendly measures trend. Again, very important for your mains as well as prelims. Now, National Mission on Sustainable Habitat, NMSH. NMSH is providing development on sustainable habitat standard, then promoting energy efficiency as core component of urban planning by extending existing energy conservation building code. तो एनर्जी कंजर्वेशन बिल्डिंग कोड जो चल रहा था उसे इम्प्रूव करके प्रमोशन ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग एनर्जी किया गया बाय स्ट्रेंथनिंग इन्फोर्समेंट ऑफ ऑटोमेटिव फ्यूल इकोनॉमी स्टैंडर्ड यूजिंग pricing measures to encourage the purchase of efficient vehicles. Now, what are the vehicles which are fuel efficient? So, the vehicles which come under BS6 norms are taken under efficient vehicles and incentive for the use of public transportation. Therefore, Government of India has launched FAME 1 and FAME 2 mission to establish a energy sustainable model. Then NMSH is being implemented through 3 programs: Atal Mission on Rejuvenation and Urban Transportation. That is 3 programs. First is Amrut Mission, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation, Urban Transformation. Then second is Swachh Bharat Mission SBM.1, SBM2. Third is Smart Cities Mission. Again 3 parts of one program, Smart City Mission, which are under NMSH, Sustainable Habitat Development, which also provide energy conservation building rules. 2018 has been made mandatory for commercial building. So, the buildings which are being used by the industries and entrepreneurship as well as MSMEs has been coded with energy conservation rules, under which various appliances being used in the buildings are being checked under the energy conservation protocol and connected load of 100 kW or above. Under Smart City Mission, Climate Smart Cities Assessment, then Framework 2019 has been launched to provide clear roadmap to combat climate change through mitigation and adaptation measures. This is again very important. So, smart cities are those cities which are created by Government of India framework in order to provide smart hospital, smart schooling, climate friendly eco parks, smart industries will be set up. So, a module that caters all the needs of environment protection and conservation, and that also provide a green ecosystem as a city based model, that is a smart city. Then Urban Swachh Bharat Mission. Now, extension of energy conservation building code, what is being done? Urban, then water resource management and drinking water supply in urban areas, then urban storm water management and recycling of material and urban waste management, and better urban planning and model shift of public transport. These are the feature of smart cities leading to urban transformation. Now, the fact is that again Government of India is trying to make the environment friendly model for urban development as well as a model for a better facilitation of ecological niche. Now, again the water management in terms of National Water Mission NWM, which again part of economy survey, focuses on monitoring of groundwater, aquifers, mapping, capacity building and water quality monitoring and other baseline studies. So again government is making more and more effort in order to develop the monitoring of groundwater, aquifers, mapping, capacity building and water quality monitoring, which also promoting citizen and state action for water conservation, augmentation and preservation. Again focusing attention over exploitation areas. So areas where there is much exploitation of groundwater has been under focus, friends. Remember this data for your prelims as well as mains point of view. So it takes a huge leap in terms of water management and development of water strategy. So this again creates a huge leap in the fact that the water conservation and water protection is done by various agencies, which again plays a crucial role. So we should look into the details of how the preservation methods are being taken. Now, the Code of Water Conservation, National Water Mission. So, exploitation of the water bodies are taken under consideration. National Institute of Hydrology is the nodal agency set by the State Specific Action Plan SSAP for water sector for 19 selected states. Remember that SSAP is again a plan by Government of India in order to conserve and preserve the groundwater table and replenishment of that water which was being exhausted. So 19 selected states on priority basis has been taken under consideration. SSAP and National Institute of Hydrology is the nodal agency in order to look into the water conservation method. National Institute of Hydrology. हम अपने भविष्य को सुरक्षित कर जल बचाएं, जीवन बचाएं. This was the motto of Government of India under Ministry of Jal Shakti. Made the improvement via barbell strategy. Then there was water mission, such as Madhya Pradesh. Catch the rain. The performance of sustainable development. It is requirement. Okay. So in order to protect and conserve the raindrops which are needed for the areas where there was a drought situation and where there was need to have water conservation, that was done under this mission, National Water Mission. Very, very important for this prelims as well as mains point of view. Now, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, enhancing the food security by making agriculture more productive, sustainable, remunerative and climate resilient. So again, a climate resilient and productive model of agriculture being developed under the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. The mission has resulted in formation of National Innovation on Climate Resilient Agriculture and a network that provides the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, which is the nodal agency ICAR, in order to promote this mission. And seventh is National Mission for Sustainable Himalayan Ecosystem. As we know that Himalayas are the kind of lung of the Indian peninsula, which are providing lots of oxygen as well as protect the species which are rare in nature. Also it preserves the biodiversity as well as various species of plants and trees which are in a nature of medicinal kind of things. So Himalayan ecosystem is needed to be preserved, and that is done under the National Mission for Sustaining Himalayan Ecosystem. Continuously assess the health status of the Himalayan ecosystem, enable policy bodies in their policy formulation, functions, establish the new center relevant to the climate change in existing institution of Himalayan state. Center for Glaciology has been established as Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology. So glaciology is a branch of geology which studies about the glaciers and their properties and how they are working and being curtailed in order to preserve the glaciers and in order to protect the rivers originating from those glaciers. So there is a National Institute of Glaciology has been opened under Wadia Institute of Geology. Remember it, that is Wadia Institute of Geology. Then State Climate Change Center have been set up in 12 Himalayan states. So Himalayan states under the Himalayan ecosystem, that are 12 states starting from Ladakh, Union Territory, Himachal, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, then Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Nagaland. 12 states are having the climate change centers. Very important. Add it in your main science writing and essay. Then National Mission for Strategic Knowledge for Climate Change, NMSKCC, to gain better understanding of climate section, formulation of knowledge network among the existing knowledge institute, and engaging in research and development center of national capacity modeling by regional impact of climate change on different ecological zones within the country. In this way, this center acts as a regional center for research and development of the ecological system in that area where there is a requirement to preserve this ecological balances and in order to cater the forest density and preserve the ecosystem. Now, the mission has created, strengthened 11 centers of excellence for climate change, and state climate change cells have been established in 11 out of 12 Himalayan states. So this again very important, state climate change cells has been established. State climate change cells. Now coming to the next part, Climate Change Action Program CCAP by central sector schemes. So there are central sector schemes are catering the climate change action program, initially launched in 2014 by Government of India, which total outlay of 290 crores for duration of 5 years. The scheme has now been extended up to 2026. Remember that scheme has been extended to 2025 and 26. Now, National Adaptation Fund on Climate Change, there has been a capital fund established by Government of India in order to provide facilities for the climate change measures in order to develop the forest ecosystem. So 30 projects with a allocation of rupees 847.5 crores have been sanctioned from 2015 to 19. Then the projects focus on climate sensitivity sectors such as agriculture. ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स कहाँ फोकस कर रहे हैं फ्रेंड्स? फर्स्ट इज एग्रीकल्चर, सेकंड इज वाटर, थर्ड फॉरेस्ट्री as well as coastal and Himalayan ecosystem. So 5 major targets are there: agriculture, forestry, water, coastal and Himalayan ecosystem. Remember this fact for your prelims as well as mains point of view. Again, it can be asked that it acts for the adaptive capacity to make the most vulnerable section of our population and ecosystem. यानी कि वैसी species that are facing the huge challenges of their survival, such as endangered species, critically endangered, and near extinction, that all are catered under this policy. Now, major initiative and achievements. So, India has announced the National Hydrogen Mission for generating hydrogen from green energy sources. Again, when there is a need for development of hydrogen for the purpose of space sector, then there is a hydrogen measure, space sectors and aviation sector. So, which CNG is being replaced by hydrogen and as a transportation fuel as well as industrial output to refineries. So, being developed as hydrogen mission. So, it is again a very clean source of energy. In June 5, 2021, India announced 20% ethanol blending in petrol by 2025. So, ethanol again a green fuel that is mixed with the blended oil to make the oil less pollution prone, and again BS6 norm is there which will cater the reduction of pollution and maintaining of quality fuel that will reduce the pollution and environment friendly. So, it will be catered with 2025 target and net zero emission target by 2030. Remember it. So 2025 तक क्या करेंगे, ब्लेंडिंग करके मिक्सिंग करेंगे पेट्रोल में, देन 2030 तक नेट जीरो कार्बन इमिशन टारगेट रहेगा. सोर्सिंग ऑफ एनर्जी रिक्वायरमेंट थ्रू द रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी सोर्सेस. देन फीचर्स ऑफ कुसुम स्कीम, किसान ऊर्जा सुरक्षा एवं उत्थान महाभियान. So this scheme caters the need of green energy by providing the rooftop solar panels. So solar mission में हम क्या कर रहे हैं, rooftop solar plates are applied. So 17.5 lakh pumps will be installed off grid to avoid irrigation needs of farmers in remote locations. तो irrigations के लिए farmers क्या use करते हैं friends, they are using the pump set to take out the water and that takes the electrical energy on a huge leap. This will be provided by the solar mission under which 17.5 lakh pumps will be installed off grid. Then 27.5 lakh solar water pumps will be distributed amongst farmer. Then 10 lakh pumps will be installed in location where grid is available along with the solarization of existing pumps. Then grid connected solar power plant of up to 2 megawatt, 2 megawatt के solar plants grid से connected लगाए जाएंगे in the rural areas. Then farmers can sell surplus solar power generated off grid to discoms around 60,000 annually per acre. यानी कि 1 एकड़ में अगर फार्मर सोलर रूफटॉप पैनल लगा रहे हैं तो उससे उनकी 60,000 की फिक्स्ड इनकम आ रही है इस मिशन के द्वारा. दैट अगेन मेक्स अ इकोनॉमी वायबल एज वेल एज इन्वायरमेंट फ्रेंडली मेजर. Remember this for your prelims as well as mains. So PM Kusum Yojana has been launched under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uthan Mahabhiyan, which providing energy and water security and de-dieselize the farm sector and generate additional income for farmers by producing solar power. And the scheme aims to add 30.8 gigawatt. How much friends? It adds the 30.8 gigawatt of energy. And it also provides the capacity of central finance support over 34,000 crore rupees. See this, how much of fund has been provided by government of India, that is 34,000 crores of rupees. Remember this for your prelims as well as mains. Now, rooftop solar programs Phase 2 for the accelerated development of the solar ecosystem on the individual rooftop and industries. We set a target of 40 gigawatt, again a very high target, installed by December 2022. That means at the end of this 2022 December, we will be having a 40 gigawatt panel at each and every rooftop, and the wind energy policy to offshore wind energy policy to provide the need of energy at every village and rural areas with a potential of offshore wind energy along the India's coastlines. Now, ministry, which is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, is developing a strategy in order to counter the challenges of reduced air and the water efficient measures with installation of offshore wind projects off the coast of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Again, two key points that states of Gujarat and the Tamil Nadu are having offshore wind quality stations. Why? Because they are the coastal areas with huge wind pressure over them, and there is a generation of wind energy by moving of turbine in those localities due to their presence. So again, the ministry is new and renewable energy. Now next, remember these facts. Major decision at COP26 Climate Summit Glasgow. Now we were discussing major outcomes of COP21, that how COP21 incurred into creation of one sun, one world, one grid. Then there was INDC, intended nationally determined contribution. Then there was International Solar Alliance. Then again the COP26 provides the creation of Paris rule book again, and meeting the targets that were pending in COP21. So it was held on Glasgow. Remember this date, 31st October to 13th November of 2021. UPSC sometime asked this question in prelims. Then COP26 adopted outcome of the Paris rule book, which was again a solar model of International Solar Alliance. Then it created a Glasgow Climate Pact, emphasizes adaptation, mitigation, finance, technology transfer, and urges the development of country parties to fully deliver the $100 billion mobilization fund. Okay friends, तो $100 billion का फंड मोबिलाइज किया गया है इसके emphasis के लिए, so that the countries should participate in more and more number and they should contribute in the climate friendly measures under UN SDG 13 target, and also take the COP21 target into their account of policy measures as well as the industrial policies. Now, the COP26 provides the target for role of member states and the taking measures to mitigate climate change, preparing roadmap for the handling of impact of climate change. What impacts? Which we saw recently, there was a huge volcano eruption in Togo, which was again due to the fact of climate change mitigation process. Now, famous COP part. The first COP was held in 1995 Berlin. पहला कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज ऑन इन्वायरमेंट कहाँ पे हुआ था फ्रेंड्स? बर्लिन में. रिमेंबर दैट. द फेमस Kyoto Protocol again second during 1997. Then there is COP21st held in Paris. Conference of Party is held under the United Nations Climate Change Framework, UNFCCC, again which UPSC asked questions in previous years. And the convention of UNFCCC combines 98 members including India, US, China. It secured global net zero by mid-century and keep 1.5 degree limit with the reach and adopt to protect the communities and work to benefit the environment as a whole. So these measures again play a crucial role. Remember all these facts for your prelims as well as mains point of view. Now, India's NDC and voluntary commitment to enhanced climate action. India has always been promising to enhance climate action and environment friendly measures which caters the need of the environment and climate change. Now it has the nationally determined contribution that was under INDC of COP21 Paris, and under the Paris Agreement best effort basis, यानी कि there is no such binding protocol but the best effort should be made by a country in order to protect the environment by taking the initiative. Keeping this developmental imperative in mind, India committed to what India did: reduce the emission intensity of GDP by 33 to 35% by 2030 as compared to 2005 level. Second, it create an additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of CO2 equivalent through additional forest and tree cover by 2030. Remember this fact. Then third is achieve about 40% cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel energy resources. How great is such a strategy when there will be energy production without burning the fossil fuel which are under thermal power plants. So shifting from thermal power plant to the wind energy, to the solar energy, to the hydrothermal energy, to OTEC and other non-renewable energy sources which will cater the need of climate change, and under huge benefit India and world will get free from such kind of pollution which we are seeing right now. जो हम पर्यावरण प्रदूषण से जूझ रहे हैं दोस्तों, उसके लिए ग्रीन एनर्जी मिशन काम करेगा और इसमें हम सौर ऊर्जा, वायु ऊर्जा और हाइड्रो ऊर्जा पे काम करेंगे अंडर दिस बाइंडिंग फ्रेमवर्क. नाउ INDC targets as taken under the COP21 and again promised to COP26, 33 to 35% emission intensity reduction. So emission जो हो रहे थे उद्योगों के द्वारा उसको 33 से 35% तक कम करना by 2030 over 2005. So earlier the base year is 2010 और जैसे ही 2030 तक हम जाएंगे it will be reduced to 35%. Second is total renewable energy capacity at 175 gigawatt by 2022. यानी कि 2022 के end में this year it will be introduced that total energy capacity will be 175 gigawatt. Then 40% of total power formation non-fossil fuel sources. The total power that is generated from coal and other such sources will be reduced to non-fossil fuel sources such as solar, wind, hydro and OTEC. Then fourth is increase forest cover to sequestrate 2.5 to 3 gigaton CO2. फॉरेस्ट कवर को इस लेवल पे इंक्रीज करना सो दैट इट कैन सिक्वेस्ट्रेट, इट कैन स्क्वीज 2.5 to 3 gigatons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and hence reduction in greenhouse gas formation. Then next is need to drive higher investment in health, agriculture and water. Again promise to increase health, agriculture and water cleaning which are part of UN SDG and Niti Aayog Sustainable Development Goals. Then sixth is total cost of in NDCs UDCs 2.5 till 2030. So remember that total cost to be reduced by UDC 2.5 till 2030. 2030 तक हम पूरे कॉस्ट को भी रिड्यूस कर रहे हैं. नेक्स्ट, ड्यूरिंग 2005 and 2016 country had reduced emission intensity of its GDP by 24%. तो इंडिया के लिए ये क्या अचीवमेंट है? इंडिया हैज रिड्यूस्ड इन एनर्जी इंटेंसिटी बाय 24%. तो 24% का इमिशन इंटेंसिटी कम किया गया है इंडिया के द्वारा. As on 31st December 21, share of non-fossil sources in installed capacity of electric generation was 40.2%. इंस्टॉल्ड कैपेसिटी में 40.20% का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेशन नॉन फॉसिल फ्यूल सोर्सेज यानी कि सोलर, विंड, टाइडल एंड सच सोर्सेज. Then institutional framework of a high-level inter-ministerial apex committee for the implementation of Paris Agreement (AIPA) has been created. Remember, very very important new fact in the news: AIPA, which was created by Government of India, apex committee for implementation of Paris Agreement. Now, coming to the next part, we see that India's climate change opportunity as scattered under this shows that current project targets change in the GHG achieved -17.6 2005 to 25% 2020. So, we have curtailed -25% of greenhouse gas reduction, and the INDC target is -40% reduction in the CO2 emission. So, 40% reduction in GHG intensity by 2030 over 2005 base level, and outlay of $10 to 15 billion, and impact of 30 to 60 MT million ton CO2 emission. Then next challenge is double the current energy target to 350 gigawatt. So, in 2015 we saw 35 gigawatt, which rose to 175, again rose to 350 gigawatt by 2030, and it will take impetus of $150 billion, and it is 310 to 350 million ton of carbon dioxide emission reduction. Now, current Green India mission goal is to 5 million hectare of quality improvement. Second is 5 million new forest cover. Then likely target goals 20 million hectare of improvement and new cover. Then increase forest cover substantially in next 5 years by consuming $16 to 19 billion, and it makes a reduction of 70 to 100 million ton of carbon dioxide sink. So, this is a projected module for next 5 years till this year onwards in order to curtail the carbon dioxide reduction and GHG gas control by Government of India. Remember this fact for your prelims and mains. Now, finance for the sustainable development. How the finances are made by Government of India? So, Reserve Bank of India, here comes the RBI, which is the purse of Government of India. So, Reserve Bank of India set a new unit, Sustainable Finance Group SFG, within the Department of Regulation to effectively counter this risk and for leading the regulatory initiative of sustainable finance and climate risk. So, in order to mitigate the challenges of fund crisis in pandemic year, Reserve Bank of India came forward that we will support you as how far you will go in order to preserve the climate risk and make the climate model more active. Now, 2021, a task force on sustainable finance has been set up by the Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, to facilitate the fund transfer in the hands of MSME and other industries fighting for green energy. India is actively contributing in global efforts towards green finance. Again, RBI joined central banks and supervisory network of greening the financial system, NGFS. Again, new term, environment प्रोटेक्शन के मेजर्स के लिए इकोनॉमिक सर्वे क्या दे रहा है? NGFS, which is joined by the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India NGFS ज्वाइन कर रही है और उसके बाद ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड में अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रही है एज ए मेंबर सिंस अप्रैल 23, 2021. पिछले साल अप्रैल में ये न्यूज़ में था. Then SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India, in May 21 issued new sustainability reporting requirement as per the Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report. BSRS के द्वारा ये रिपोर्ट आई है that sustainability catered by the Security and Exchange Board of India, that is countering the all share market holdings which is provided under this network with greater transparency through the disclosure of ESG and related to information, and by enabling market participants to identify, access sustainability related risks and opportunities. Now, International Solar Alliance, as an outcome of COP26 Paris, which makes the joint green grids initiative One Sun, One World, One Grid. One Sun, World and One Grid, which was catered by Government of India by creation of ISA headquartered at Gurgaon, which provides a huge leap for the World Leaders Summit in Glasgow. COP26 में भी ये काफ़ी बड़ा इशू रहा चर्चा में कि how India has promoted the green energy measures by creation of International Solar Alliance, and also India is constantly supporting other developing economies in order to create more solar oriented model of industries and more facilitation of such green energy. It aims to create a globally interconnected green grid. Now you see, it is a framework that every countries around the world will be connected by the solar grid framework, whether it is USA to Brazil, or it is South Africa, or India, or Singapore, or Australia. So all countries will be connected by this grid, which is solar grid with green energy. So which will enable the solar energy generation in regions with high potential and its evacuation to demand centers. Remember this fact again. Now, coalition for disaster resilience infrastructure. So, disaster has been discussed under 2005 Sendai framework, where there was a formulation of a charter in which every kind of disaster occurring in any country can be tackled by creating national disaster force. Then there was a disaster resilience infrastructure which was created by CDRI, that is Coalition for Disaster Resilience Infrastructure, CDRI, as a outcome, and has been receiving a global attention. Again, huge leap by India under COP26 Glasgow. Now, COP26 also welcomed the launch of 2-year Glasgow Sharm Sheikh work program on the global goal of adaptation. Glasgow Sharm El Sheikh work program. Remember that, Glasgow Sharm El Sheikh program for adaptation of green measures. Now, lead IT, again a good news from economy survey that leadership group for industry transition was launched by the help of India with partnership of other countries in the World Economic Forum with India and Sweden. Remember these two countries which launched lead IT in totality to provide a green framework. Now, it also caters the UN Climate Action Summit in New York in September 2019 as one of the 9 action tracks to identify UN Secretary General to boost climate ambition and action imparted under the Paris Agreement. पेरिस एग्रीमेंट के अंतर्गत जो भी फ्रेमवर्क बनाए गए थे उनको पूरी तरह से लागू करने के लिए यूएन क्लाइमेट एक्शन समिट लागू किया गया, and India and Sweden were the two countries which support with World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum, Sweden and India. So the India's performance on the Niti Aayog Sustainable Development Index was quite improved. The overall score of 60 in 2019 to 66 in 2021, India has been making a significant stride by increasing the forest area, ranking 3rd globally. So India has ranked 3rd in forest area after China and USA, and states and UTs need to improve the management of its groundwater resources. Again, it's a conclusionary remark that states should mitigate the groundwater and improve the groundwater capacity recharge by streaming over exploitation to prevent the critical and semi-critical assessment units from further worsening. The last is a greater thirst on climate action following the announcement of India's target of becoming net zero by 2070. Again 2070 तक इंडिया ने जीरो इमिशन टारगेट सेट किया है, and climate finance will remain a critical to successfully climate action by developing countries including India. Now what can be the questions for the mains? So nationally determined contributions, explain it, discuss the context of India's commitment to tackle the climate change. India launched National Action Plan for Climate Change, then discuss the various steps taken by India to cater and manage the plastic waste. So with this I end this lecture. Hope that you will understand this lecture very well. So work hard for your prelims as well as mains. Thank you and have a nice day.